Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. A reminder, tomorrow at this time, right around 8 o'clock, Ticket Blitz Thursday will launch. We'll have Hozier tickets, so we just gave away some of those in Clash with Kenzie. We'll still do that tomorrow at 7:10 in the competition of trivia. And then at 8 and 9, we'll have more tickets for you. And then every hour, Lauren, Brian Phillips, throughout the day, we'll have those tickets every hour. Super highly sought after. I can't remember the last artist that sold out Tinley Park and then did another one, like 2 in a row at Tinley Park. I'm not trying to send you on a deep dive case, because whenever I say things like this, case gets instantly on the computer and I goes, well, in 2017, this happened. I don't remember 2 in a row from anybody there.
Well, I don't have that info, so I'm not going to look it up.
Okay, I'll give you an hour. In entertainment.
Because you didn't ask that question before this very moment.
That's right. I didn't. If we're off the air, usually we just kind of say that in case instantly finds the answer in a minute. But we got more important things to get to right now.
Like me getting kicked out of a child's birthday party.
Absolutely. So
Oy.
with the Super Bowl on Monday and even recapping stuff yesterday, we didn't have a chance to really talk about it yet. So Saturday was Kenzie's son's Marino's 1-year birthday party. And it was a tremendous event. All the hard work we had heard about you doing on it. It looked amazing. The food was incredible. Everything about it was really special.
Thank you. I hope you guys had fun. You looked like you were having fun.
I had a lot of fun. Especially over, it was very similar. Again, not to bring it back to Entourage, but when they went to the they went to the bar mitzvah.
Kenzie, your 1-year-old son's birthday party reminded Brian of Entourage.
I honestly don't know where this is going.
Okay, remember
When they started the tequila company?
No, way earlier than that.
Okay.
When they're invited to Ari Gold's daughter's bat mitzvah.
Yeah.
And then Turtle and Johnny Drama can't find any food that they like. And they eventually go outside by the pool where the kids are at the kids' table. And there's hot dogs, burgers, and there's chicken tenders. They're living their life. I felt like at Marino's party, that one table with the cake pops, the churros, the Jarritos, and Rice Krispie treats covered in white frosting. What else was there? There was those Oreos covered in white frosting.
Mm-hmm. And pretzels.
And pretzel rods with white frosting. It was heaven. Not that the Mexican food and all that was incredible, but the kids' table I hung out way too long at.
Yeah. No, I saw you over there a lot for a really big adult.
Yeah. That's the other thing that sucks about being 6'4" ¼ is you can't hide.
You don't blend in.
No.
No.
And then Case almost got kicked out because he drank too many of those sodas, the Mexican sodas, because they were for the kids.
They weren't, he was allowed to have one. It wasn't the kids' table, it was the dessert table. It's just that Case found a flavor he liked, and he took almost all of them back to his seat because he was worried that we wouldn't restock. Mm-hmm. And so we stole a bunch of them.
So can I defend myself here?
Yes.
I'd like to hear this.
So here we are at this child's birthday party. I'm having the time of my life. Kenzie even said I was having fun. It was a nice thing. Everybody goes up to the bar. I don't drink alcohol, never have, don't plan on doing it anytime soon. So I don't know what to get. I'm not exactly sure if they're going to have soda behind the bar. I'm not sure if they're going to look down on me for ordering soda at the bar. Start getting a little, as I often do, nervous. I look to the left of me, where there are children horse playing and being physical with one another and smiling and laughing and doing all those things that I never did as a kid.
Were you jealous of them?
A little bit. I look to my left, and I see this aforementioned table that has all these sweets on, and I go, I'm going to circle back there. And then my eyes drift even a little bit further, and I see, now you'll have to correct me on the pronunciation because I don't know how to say it. Jarritos?
Good Lord.
No, it's Jarritos.
Jarritos?
Am I right, Kenzie? It's Jarritos.
Yeah, it's Jarritos, but when you say it, you sound like you're saying Doritos. Which
I thought it was like the sister company of Doritos, maybe.
No.
Okay.
Jarritos. It's like Jarritos is kind of how you'd say it.
Okay, so I saw a table
Give me some of those Jarritos. Can I have a gyro, please?
Jarritos.
I saw a table of Jarritos. And
good.
I thought, I've never had this before. Typically, my soda, I see it on. It's not the soda that I typically go for. So
Not exotic, your soda selection.
Thank you. I wasn't sure how to say that in an appropriate way. Not that there's anything wrong with soda south of the border. I've just never had it before. So I crack one of these open. I use a bottle opener, which I've only used a few times in my life. Took me a second. Finally got it. I pop one of these suckers open, the lime flavor to be specific.
Because it looks like Mountain Dew.
And it tastes like Mountain Dew, too. And I thought, some bitch, I got myself a drink right here.
And I'm taking all of them, and no one will have this flavor for the rest of the night.
So as I look on the table, I've got one in my hand. There's only about 6 of these other lime ones on the table. And I know these kids are going to be all hopped up on soda by the end of the night. I know how it's going to go. So I make a judgment decision. I'm not sure at this point even though they paid for the room and the cake and all the snacks, and they were so gracious to host us, I'm not sure at this point in the night if the Roman family, Kenzie Roman, is going to restock the lime-flavored Jarritos.
Yep.
So what I do
my God.
is I make a judgment call, and I grab the 6 remaining lime-flavored Jarritos, and I bring them into my shirt pocket, create like a kangaroo pouch, and I sit down at my table, stocked up for the rest of the night. I don't have to stand up. If you want to mingle, you can come to me. I'm kicking it at this party. And I was later told that was inappropriate behavior, that the bouncers were looking at me, that I was in danger of being thrown on my ass to the icy sidewalk, all because I wanted to have a good time, alcohol-free.
You took 6.
I know, but they were going to be gone.
Kenzie, when it was restocked, he took more than 6. I'm just letting you know. And I think I saw.
I wish you wouldn't have said that.
Yeah, and I think Kenzie was obviously preoccupied with family. But at one time, I did see her, you drinking one at the table, and she walked by and went, "Enough."
You know how
Your
Kenzie
grubby
gets.
paws. I've never seen someone with only 2 hands be able to grab that many sodas.
Right? Pretty cool.
It's unbelievable.
What do these hands do, right? Now you're thinking. Okay.
Mackenzie's the lucky lady.
God forbid I reference another movie in Forrest Gump twice in an hour. But remember when Forrest comes back from the war and he's drinking all that with all those sodas? And I think it was
Actually, I don't remember the
Me
scene, so
either,
go ahead.
actually.
he was drinking them, and then it was JFK, and he interviews him, and JFK goes, congratulations. He goes, "I gotta pee." Because he drank too many of it was Dr. Peppers he was drinking.
All right, I do remember that now.
That was Case at Kenzie's party on Saturday night.
Yeah, and to Tony on the text line is asking if Kenzie's party had bouncers. They had people working at the event who were there to help out Kenzie, but when they saw my behavior, they sort of took on the bouncer role themselves. And I had a confrontation with them. We worked it out. I had my Jarritos, and it was a very good night.
Painful.
Yeah. The guys with the sport coats on, they had a furrowed brow at Case, and they had like an ear,
way of saying it.
and they had like an earpiece. They were like, keep an eye on this guy. I could see that going on, Secret Service.
Hey, Kenzie, great party. It turns out
you.
Those little sodas are something else.
Now you're aware you can buy them at any grocery store you go to in Chicagoland because they're very popular, obviously in Chicago. You can't buy them in every city, but you can buy them here.
I've never seen them. What aisle are they in?
The pop aisle, the soda.
They're like next to the stuff that I buy.
You may have to go, depending on the grocery store, to the Mexican aisle. With
Yeah,
stuff.
they may be in the Hispanic aisle depending on the grocery store.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not-
Admittedly, not an aisle I'm super familiar with, but I will check it out.
Because he doesn't like beans either.
That's right. And it's awfully spicy. Kenzie had this green salsa at the party. I've never had green salsa before. Honestly, hadn't tried salsa until 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I was 24 the first time I had it. Oh my God. I thought I was licking a volcano the entire night. It was the hottest thing I've ever had.
I want to just go slower
Did you
here.
have any, Brian? Did you find it spicy?
No, it was delicious. It was perfect. I said, that's some good salsa. That's perfect heat. And Kay started sweating immediately. But yeah, no, I had the chips and salsa. Of course, I had the make the fajitas at your table. The whole mixture there was amazing. But yeah, sitting with Case and watching this all go down was part of my entertainment. Besides, of course, your beautiful baby's 1-year-old birthday party, the things he did, like the pinata and everything was amazing. All that stuff. Did you buy those sodas, or did the restaurant provide them there?
I bought the sodas.
Hey, thank you.
I know.
Because my worry was kind of like a wedding when you have the cash bar at the end of the night, you got to sign the bill. And I imagined you going there and seeing how many of the Jarritos were drank. And
47.
You're like, yeah. And
Just lime.
and your whole cost structure of making sure the kids had pop changed, and you lost money on the event more than you thought anyway.
No, and I'll tell you what, I was going to go buy like the variety pack from either Costco or Sam's or whatever, right? Because we have memberships. They were actually on the best sale ever at Meijer. They were like 60 cents a bottle. So we ended up buying them all individually because it was even cheaper. So
Wow.
I did stock up. And not the whole time was I thinking only for Case. I thought other people would be able to get them, but
Sure.
yes.
Yeah,
Sure.
well, some advice for his second birthday party. Don't worry about the other flavors. Make sure that lime is stocked up,
Okay.
and I will be there.
He also said things, because I gave Case a ride out there with his lady, and on the way home he said, why aren't churros at every event?
Because I ain't never had a churro before. I had green salsa, Jarritos, and churros for the first time at this party. Churros are awesome.
Yeah.
Well, he also came up to me. It was like, I don't think I've ever seen somebody actually use a pinata. This was such a cultural experience for Casey. He thought he went to Mexico. It was unbelievable.
Yeah. I mean, he crossed the border in the Elgin. He thought he was in Tijuana.
It was unbelievable. Every time he saw something. And we brought out like the La Michoacana ice cream cart. And he's like, oh, my, what is this?
Yeah.
I thought the Undertaker was going to come out of it. I had no idea what was going on.
Yeah. He just had no idea what was going on, and it was very entertaining to watch. And do you feel culturally enriched now after this party?
Yeah, I took a vacation. I stamped my passport and everything. It was an awesome time.
It's like, this culture is awesome. I'm like, okay, Kate, sit down.
There you go, yeah.
Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. We're just talking about what Case did at Kenzie's son's birthday party over the weekend, drinking all the, quote, Jarritos.
Oh, my gosh, please stop saying.
And then also eating the churros. He just had a Hispanic experience he'd never had in his life before by far.
Amen, brother.
As they said, they stamped his passport on the way in. He felt like he went to Tijuana for the weekend.
I can't.
Some of the texts coming through are very funny. Pierce checked in and said from Wheeling, another person checking in from Wheeling this morning. Pierce said, how sheltered was Case's childhood? He didn't watch any movies and he only ate dry white bread.
Well, I'm going to have myself an experience this week. I'm going to get some Jarritos for the home. I'm going to make a cheese quesadilla. And I'm going to watch the movie Pretty Woman. We'll review that Friday at 8 a.m. So another movie that I haven't seen will knock out Pretty Woman for Valentine's Day this week at 8 a.m. So I'm a growing boy, and I'm experiencing a lot of new things here.
At 26 years old, birthday today. You know, it's a big deal. You're blossoming.
Well, I am, and that's why I like this text from Vince so much. Vince from Yorkville checked in. This is what this show does. We bring communities together. He said in all caps, Case, mad props on the Jarritos. I'm white, raised around Hispanics, and they are my most favorite soda ever.
Yeah.
We're bringing people together on this show. That's what I'm talking about.
Yep. Everybody else trying to be divided.
That's right, not us.
Also, all caps 773. Did Case grow up in a box?
Van down by the river, technically.
And Dakota checked in. Little bitch arms? I think not. After grabbing all those Jarritos?
Well, I created more of a kangaroo pouch. It wasn't necessarily the raw strength that I had. It was more so just the wide T-shirt that I was wearing that allowed me to carry 6 sodas at once.
You should have heard him clanking around the venue.
I sound like the Tin Man.
God.
I was just going to reference another movie.
Oh, what you got for me? Another one.
Please have it. Please, as long as you don't have to describe it, as long as you describe the last
Everybody
one.
knows the movie The Warriors back in the day when the guy takes the 3 bottles on his hand and goes, Warriors, come out and play. And he knocks the bottles together with his hands. That's what Case sounded like walking around the party. I'll find it
sound
after.
like a murderer.
I'll find the clip after Sublime and we'll play it there. The guy, by the way, who said that, Kenzie, was a murderer. So.
Okay, well, that tracks.
It's Brian and Kenzie on Q101.
Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.
Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. We have headlines on the way. You decide the content of the show. We've compiled the 2 funniest headlines of the week, and then we will give them to you. You decide what story we break down. That's coming up in 10 minutes at 8:20. We get it started. But first, we're still breaking down Case stealing all the Jarritos at Kenzie's son's birthday party, and he was walking around with the bottles in his pants. And I just thought it reminded me of the scene in The Warriors when Luther's calling out the other gang from the car, shaking bottles together to get their attention. So this is Case at the party. This is what it sounded like.
Warriors, come out to play.
It's like Luther at the Warriors.
Warriors, come out.
And Kenzie went, enough! Put the bottles down.
Well, then he asked if he could hit the pinata, and I'm like, it's for the children.
Yeah, that's right. He almost got up for the pinata.
Well, I would have nailed it. I don't understand why you couldn't. Life should have more pinatas, first of all. Let that be everybody's takeaway today. Life should have more pinatas, and I also deserve to play with the pinata at a child's birthday party because I am also quite good at hitting them.
Listen, if it wouldn't have broke for a long time, but actually one of the kids decapitated it in about 3 seconds.
That's true.
Went down pretty hard, and those kids were like cockroaches grabbing the candy that fell out. I've never seen kids move so fast.
Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. Time for Head to Headlines. We've gone through hundreds of the funniest headlines of the week. We make it easy for you. We narrow it down to two, and then they compete against each other through you texting in headline 1 or headline 2 on which story you want to hear. We'll never talk about the other story again. That's the rub. It just goes away like poof, it's gone, never happened. So you decide based on the headline alone what story you want us, Brian and Kenzie, and Case to break down. So here we go. We've narrowed it down, and here are the funniest headlines of the week. Headline number 1. Man put on probation for sneaking into neighbors' homes to smell their shoes.
Is that illegal all of a sudden?
Well, you break into a home and smell shoes, and that's probation? Give him 10 years.
Oh, I thought
smell
you should
the
get off for
shoe.
free. Yeah, I'm with Kenzie. You just smelled a shoe.
Yeah.
That's not the worst thing that's happened in my house, okay?
Okay, so I'm going to break in your house.
I forgot about the break-in part.
There's a breaking in.
Oh, okay.
Well, I'm sorry. He said sneaking into, but it's
Yeah,
sneak.
sneak is different. Nothing was broken.
All right, you know what? I'm going to sneak into your house later.
And do what? Clean it? Awesome.
Maybe I
Come
will.
on, I'll leave the door open.
So that's headline number 1, but don't answer yet because headline 2, depending on what you want us to hear break down. Headline number 2 is cats won't be banned in Scotland, the government confirms.
Good news.
Didn't know it was up for a banning? Cats? That is wild. And
How do you ban them? Like, do you put them all on like a bus and send them somewhere else?
oh, that's really sad. A bus
Right?
full of cats going over the border.
The little paws on the window.
That
'cause
might
they
be
grew up there.
that might be the saddest thing I ever heard.
Like, I don't understand how you get them. They'll have like a little sack.
The stick with the little sack over their
Yeah.
shoulder.
With a bandana with their cat. What is it? Kitty nip?
Catnip?
Catnip.
Guy who's never owned a pet before.
I know.
Clearly.
Oh my God, that's the saddest thing I ever put in my brain. It's like a bus full of cats getting shipped out of town.
I just see a million paws on the window. Look at that's where they grew up. Just looking at Scotland. Their home.
Just got it going. All right, so that's headline 2. If you want to hear that story, text in headline number 2 to 312-591-8300.
Can you read them one more time, please?
So again, headline 1 is man slapped with. No, I'm sorry, that's the wrong headline.
That was last week.
Okay, that's right. Man put on probation for sneaking into neighbors' homes to smell their shoes.
Totally different.
You guys are totally okay with it, which is weird. Headline number 2, cats won't be banned in Scotland, the government confirms. So you decide the content of the show right now. 312-591-8300, headline 1, headline 2. And right after Q101 Twisted Christmas Veteran, the All-American Rejects, in 3 minutes, we'll break it down. It's Brian and Kenzie on Q101.
Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.
Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. Time for Head to Headlines. We've broken down the 100 of funniest headlines of the week, and we gave you 2 to choose from, and then we break down the story. You decide by texting in headline 1 or headline 2. We have the answer, but first we'll go over them again. Really quick, headline number 1 was, man put on probation for sneaking into neighbors' homes to smell their shoes. But not to be outdone, headline 2, cats won't be banned in Scotland, the government confirms. And as you can probably guess, even though the first story sounds fascinating, I'm curious what happens there. A landslide victory for the cats story because didn't know that was up for a banning, and that's what we're going to find out in this story and how it all went down. So here we go. Headline winner is cats won't be banned in Scotland, the government confirms. The Scottish government wants everyone to know it does not plan to ban cats. Great first sentence of this story.
Love that.
Again, with all the stuff going on, didn't know that was a big issue. That has not made any kind of headlines in American news. Maybe the BBC, I don't know. So First Minister John Sweeney was forced to issue the statement after a report by independent experts branded felines a threat to Scotland's wildlife and suggested, quote, containment measures be considered to reduce the damage.
Oh, and my goodness.
Yeah, it sounds pretty serious. Sounds like,
Containment.
Yeah,
Kitty cats.
sounds like terrorists, you know. But again, this is going to explain it a little more. The Scottish Animal Welfare Commission said that cats kill at least 700 million birds and other animals each year in the UK. Almost a billion other animals in just the UK cats kill.
Damn. They're like the top predator.
Have they killed a human?
I don't know.
It's a slippery slope. What's next? You kill that many birds, you're going to run out of birds at some point.
Well, once you warm up to the idea of killing something, you're going to get to a human pretty quick.
That's right.
I mean, that's a testament to a lot of therapy and serial killers.
Correct. You seem to be well versed in this subject.
I'm just saying, I could not believe that number because we're way bigger than the UK. So how many things are cats killing here in America?
You said 700 million?
700 million birds and other animals each year. Now, I will say, I love the feral cats in the alley of our neighborhood where I live because I see them every morning. They kind of just patrol out. They're so badass. You know, most cats run when they see you. They just kind of give me a head nod. Sup? Just killed a couple.
Smoking a cigarette?
Yeah.
Good Lord.
Yeah, just killed a couple rats back here for you. He sings like The Rock in Moana. You're welcome. And those feral cats in our neighborhood, I don't see any rats. Some people have rat or mice problems. I don't see any because they patrol the alley. I love them. Love them to death.
They're handling business. Put some respect on their name.
Yeah, so I don't know what's getting killed in Scotland. Probably things. That's a lot of birds. 700 billion? Are there any birds in the sky left?
No kidding.
Well, how are they getting killed like this? Like, you could fly away, bitch.
Yeah, exactly.
What, you have, like, these cats can't, what are you doing?
That was the least empathetic statement of all time. You could fly away, bitch.
Well, like, pick it up. You have the advantage.
Are you trying to say that if a bird does get killed, it's his own fault?
They asked for it.
Yeah.
I mean, look alive. What are you doing?
It is pretty amazing. You have the gift that every person on earth dreams of, flying,
Yeah.
and you can't get away from a cat.
Well,
Like-
go ahead, Kenzie.
Well, I just want to know, what is the cat? Are these like really conniving cats? Are they setting up traps where like the bird's like super distracted by a big pile of worms or something? Like, get your ass in the sky.
I can tell you once in our backyard, there was a bird just sitting there, just minding his own business, and this cat came in, on one of those outdoor cats, and it was like a statue, and it inched a centimeter each time getting toward that bird. And I was watching the whole thing. It's incredible to watch a cat when it's in that mode. So quiet, and the bird just kept sitting there, and like that. And I
You
felt,
know how birds are.
yeah, like I'll just hang out in this yard.
Brian's like, this dumbass bird.
Stupid bird. And I felt bad for the bird, and I ran and chased it, and the bird flew away. And the cat looked at me and took my soul with his eyes, going, "You mother effer! I had this bird, and I spent like an hour here inching toward this stupid bird."
Like, I want to hear this cat go, I spent like an hour here. What the?
Oh, he's so pissed off, that cat.
Do you think the cats are matumboing the birds out of the sky? Like maybe they are flying, but the birds are knocking them, or the cats are knocking them out of the sky.
Not today.
That's my cat's famous catchphrase.
Oh,
Well,
God.
someone's saying it's because we're used to American cats and they're really fat, and that tracks because my cat that I used to have, Salvador, he was over 20 pounds. And he used to not jump off things. He would just lean till he fell off of them. So he would just be on the edge of the bed, and you'd set his dinner down, and he'd just slowly fall until he touched the ground.
So is that person saying that just like, American people are fatter than other countries, our cats are fatter than other
I
countries'
guess
cats?
maybe these Scottish cats are like elite athletes.
So back to the story about the cat containment rumor that the prime minister had to say, we're not banning cats. The Scottish government said it would, quote, fully consider the recommendations of banning cats because of all those killings. Now, a nation of animal lovers, the suggestion spawned alarming headlines. The Daily Mail reported, furious, households in Scotland could be banned from getting a pet cat. And the Scottish Daily Express branded the idea a madcap scheme. So
I don't understand what you just said.
a madcap scheme.
That's journalism.
So then they went out and said, no, we're not doing this. The government's not going to be banning cats or restricting cats. No intention of doing so, which is also a very funny press conference that this guy had to call. What's going on? Are we helping out with the war in Ukraine? No, we're not banning cats. That's what we're doing. Also, the charity's advocate for cats said, that's Cats Protection it's called. It's the UK's biggest cat charity, said, Scotland is a nation of cat lovers. And the charity's advocacy group said that almost a quarter of households own a feline. I don't know what the American stats are. As a quarter of the houses in Chicago have a cat? I don't know. They said, quote, cats are great pets for all sorts of reasons. whether it's providing companionship for elderly people or those living alone. I don't know why you needed to add that in there. It sounds like they're just like losers. Comfort for people with health conditions or helping children learn important lessons for caring for others.
Just because you asked, about 32% of American households own a cat.
Wow.
I'm so sorry, but I've been giggling this whole time, imagining the cat that Brian pissed off just jumping onto his face right now like it's been stalking him.
Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.